What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. M2C coming at you with another video. What are we doing today, boys? Well, first of all, this is the completed build, guys. This is my second Creighton EXB custom built from the ground up, and she is pretty much finished with the exception of the body. I still have to fit a body. I'm just gonna go with the older body pin system, so I gotta put the body post on and then go from there. So as you can see, we have blue anodized shocks with these red caps here. These are actually Traxxas Sledge shocks. So they were laying around in my parts bag, so I figured I'd use them. But unfortunately, it looks like I'm not going to be able to. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So we got a AGF RC servo special edition there. I think it's 55 kg. Mamba Monster X8S. 1650 kV. I think it's 1717 or 1520 size can. Can't remember. And then we have those. We got a rocket fan on the motor and a Team Brood fan on the ESC. They're both 40mm fans. I've had this one for a while. This one's brand new. And right now I just have a 4S pack in here because I was doing some testing. But obviously this rig is going to be ran on 6S. We got M2C shock towers, front and rear, Vitavon bulkheads, and we got these Amazon Special 7075 A, B, C, and D blocks, which look pretty beefy. We got a Typhon wing on here and a Mojave rear skid. And we have M2C's chassis brace under there. I was able to fit the Arma heatsink on this motor. And in the center we have a Perfect Pass motor mount, guys, with a Amazon Special top piece. And yeah, that's the Creighton EXB build, ladies and gentlemen. And we also have the M2C tower to center diff brace rod ends. Oh, I gotta put these screws in here. I almost forgot to do that. Let me show you why these shocks aren't gonna work. Although I love the way they look on here. I really do. Let's get this out of the way. Alright. So start off in the rear. So if you can see that the chassis bottoms out, right? It hits the table or the ground when it's out bashing. However, in the front, because the shocks are too long, it doesn't bottom out. See? So what's gonna happen on huge jumps, it's either gonna break the standoff screw or blow out the shock from the bottom. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to use these shocks. Now, if anybody knows of a shock that is smaller, like that much, let me see, has to be like eight to 10 millimeters shorter than this one. If anybody knows, I was thinking about the Max 4S shocks because they're also anodized. You can get them anodized blue. If they're the same diameter but just shorter, I might be able to get away with those, but I need to order a set to figure that out. So I really like the way these shocks look on here, and it's just different, you know. For shock oil, I'm using 1300 CST in the rear mixed with 5000, like that much. 5,000 inside. I know it's crazy, right? But look at that. Look how slow that rebound is. That's super slow. See that? So I did that because these are not emulsion style shocks. They still have the bladder in there. And I really don't want this RC bouncing off big jumps. You know, that rebound you get when you come off a huge jump and you land. I just really want it to be plush, absorb the energy, and then come back up slowly. The front also has a little bit of 1300 CST and 5000 mixed into it. So, and I got the M2C pistons inside there, guys. So, like I said, if anybody knows of a smaller Traxxas blue anodized shock that's the same diameter as the sledge shock, leave it in the comments down below. I'll definitely order that and try that, because these shocks need to be smaller so I can bottom out. Otherwise I might break things. You want this chassis to be able to slap the ground when you're coming off the jumps. So I was actually afraid that the rears weren't going to work out because they were really long than the stock ones, but it actually bottoms out perfectly. So that's that, boys. So this is all done pretty much. I just have to figure out the front shock situation. I do have stock shocks in here right there. However, I didn't want to use those. I want to save those for a different build, and I had these laying around, so I wanted to be able to use them, but unfortunately the ones in the front aren't going to work. I just thought about something. The RPM front arms have two different shock mounting positions. Although I don't think it would make a difference. I wonder if that extra hole on this side will allow the shock to lay down a little bit. No, I just don't see it. I think I'm just gonna go with a smaller shock. I just have to find it. Leave it in the comments down below, guys, if you know what shock I could use here. I just need a smaller shock than the front Traxxas sledge shock. Maybe the Max shocks will work, unless the Max shocks uses this shock on all four corners. But because I don't have one, I can't measure it. But anyways, guys, today is a snow day. There's a snowstorm outside, and it's a perfect day to be wrenching. Earlier this morning, I actually fixed my snowblower. I wasn't sure what was wrong with it. I just took the carburetor apart and cleaned every single part that I could, every single needle and hole, put it all back together, and it fired right up. So I'm glad that that's fixed. The build came out super dope. Let me grab the body. I'm gonna put on that so you guys can see it with the body on. Here she is. Sorry about that. And there it is, guys. This is the original Creighton EXP version 1 body. So that's gonna sit like that. Probably a little bit more up. And I have roof skids and the center body brace for this body, so that's gonna go on there as well. So yeah, guys, what do you guys think about this new build? I was so stoked about being able to use these. I gotta figure out the situation with this front shock. I would really love to stick with the Traxxas shocks, but if I can't figure it out, then I might have to go back to the stock Armor ones, guys. That's gonna do it for the video. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for all the support and the love, the comments, the subscriptions, and the likes. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Keep on bashing. Dos RC out. Peace. I forgot to mention before I left, be on the lookout for this video. This is going to be a repair video on my Creighton EXP that we broke on the last bash. So stay tuned for this video, guys. Hit that hit that sub and ring that bell so you don't miss this video. We're going to be replacing the arm, replacing the dog bone, and I think that's it. Oh, and bending back this hinge pin because it's bent. But that's going to do it, guys. Once again, peace.